Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. In case you're wondering why the media cycle was so enamored with Parkland when they had 13 indictments of Russians, why would you not want to talk about that?
It was also interesting to hear Rod Rosenstein specifically say that there was nothing in this indictment that any Americans, wittingly colluded or dealings with Russians. This indictment, he kept saying.
Very good point. The indictments to come and probably convictions, criminal pleas, will provide more details, very likely, about that topic. And I think it is almost certain, in my own view at least, that there will be more indictments and convictions relating to the Russian interference and attack on our democracy, and also potential collusion involving the Trump campaign. Investigations proceed in stages. They focus on different facets. Just because this indictment has no mention of collusion or of knowing participation by Americans doesn't mean it isn't going to happen in the next indictment. And the involvement, even if the term unwittingly is used to describe it at this point, of Americans is very, very telling.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. Oh, it's very telling, all right. KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. Just because there's nothing in this indictment doesn't mean that there's not more to come in whatever might be in the next indictment. That is, if there is even a next indictment. And oh, by the way, more details to follow. And I love this. Almost certain there will be more indictments and convictions and collusion involving the Trump campaign. First of all, there has been no collusion involving the Trump campaign. There have been no convictions. There have been 13 indictments of people who are never going to face the American justice system. Who is Mueller kidding? Nobody's in custody of these Russian people that supposedly influenced this election. And they're never going to be in custody. They're comfortably in Russia, and they will travel to the United States at some point, and it'll be a joke. The idea, oh, there's some Russian people that put up some negative this or that, is so ridiculous. You get it. You get it. Let me tell you what else the game is. The game is to extend this out as far as they possibly can. Robert Mueller should be ashamed of himself. He should be arrested for what he's done. 13 indictments, symbolic in nature only, just to say, see, we got indictments. Wait a minute. I thought you were getting indictments against Donald Trump colluding with the Russians. Now you're saying, no, he didn't collude with them, but now that we've been digging, we found this. It's like Ferguson. You know, we didn't find any racial stuff, but hey, let's go check the emails of every staffer in the city and see if we can find something. So they do. But you know what ultimately happened in Ferguson? Darren Wilson was freed. He was vindicated. This is identically the same. Let's get something so we can hang our hats on it and say, look at what came out of it. Nothing has come out of it. No collusion, no impact on the American electoral system. And the only thing that has impacted the American electoral system is the crooked nature of the left. These Democrats who tried, like you wouldn't believe, in ways that you couldn't even imagine if you had the imagination of Stephen King and Robin Cook and give me some other good authors, some Arthurs, as my great aunt would say. Whoever, they couldn't come up with a story like this if you put a gun to their heads. The only Russian collusion, the people who really tried to upset the democracy, the Democratic Republic, I should say, is the left. And they do it every single election. They pour money in. They pour in voters. They bring in black people by the busloads and tell these silly Negroes, you better go earn your money over there. We got chicken too and Kool-Aid. And they head over. And that's what they do. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, that whole crew, the FBI, they were all colluding together to keep Donald Trump out. And here's what's sad. The only reason why they aren't blowing the lid on this is they know the minute that they indict the real people, the lid blows off the Democrat Party. But guess what, America? Carl, you out there? It's coming. For the people that don't know the Carl reference, you don't get it. Carl's one of my listeners who says, Kevin, nothing's going to happen. Something's going to happen. See, you can't, what you have to look at, folks, forget looking at the outrage around 13 unnamed Russians. Oh, these Russians had something to do with it. These Russians got nothing to do with this case. What they're doing is they're milking it. They're trying to figure out how long can we go before we finally have to go after the real people. Why hasn't anybody gone after Steele? He wrote a fake dossier and did whatever he did. Why hasn't anybody gone after the Fusion GPS guys? They've trotted Podesta back out there just recently. We got a clip from him where he's, trying to rationalize, well, the Russians did it. If the Russians were doing it, they started it in 2014 under Barack Obama. Does anybody remember what Barack Obama said when he got asked if the Russians could interfere? He says, they can't possibly interfere in our electoral process. So which is it? They can or they can't. None of this points to Donald Trump. It points to the feckless, worthless Barack Obama and his entire administration. And he's not going to have his cake and eat it too. What it tells you, people, pay attention. It tells you the Democrats are reaching the end of the road. That's what it's telling you. And that's what's happening. 13 Russians. Is the name Vladimir Putin on there? It is Medvedev. Whose name is on there that's of any consequence that you're going to go, ooh, well, that's a mean-spirited Russian right there. Is Drago on there? What about his wife? What about his trainer? After all, he killed Apollo Creed. Where are the Russians that are of any significance to you or to me or to anybody else in this indictment? Somebody help me. They don't exist. Now, the left is going to make them bigger than life. Oh, we got to continue this. There's more to come. There's more to come. So we've got the Pfizer memo that they say is a big nothing burger. They released their memo that's full of, secrets that they can't get out there. And that ruse didn't work. Have you heard anything about that? Well, they won't let us see the memo and all this. No, because it's gone. It's dead. They can't have anything that sticks because you're too smart. The media can't help them. So they got 13 indictments. Not a Trump person, not a Trump satellite in anywhere in view. You know what's being discussed right now? Him and that. Come on, y'all, stay with the preacher. I'm the one preaching up here. Michael Flynn. You know what Michael Flynn is doing? Michael Flynn is about to sue every one of these people in the food chain. Michael Flynn's going, what? Every time he learns something new, he finds out how much he was set up. Set up by McCabe, set up by the FBI apparatus. They got people that are talking in contradictions. One guy says one thing, Comey dispels that myth. Michael Flynn should have never been in the spotlight. He's about to be freed. How are they going to rationalize that? Oh, well, we had to let Michael Flynn go. Interesting. Who else is going to be freed? Who else will be vindicated when this is all said and done? Ask yourself, why these delay tactics? Why? What is it that they're concerned about? And the reason why I've said Flynn is a big piece of this puzzle is because Flynn had a case against the government. I mean, they had a case against him. He was about to take his plea, and Robert Mueller went, no, let's not do that. Ask yourself, why is Mueller suddenly, Mr. I'm on the case of looking for this, why is he suddenly issuing all these documents saying, no, Michael, you're free to go. You're free to go. Let me tell you why. Because if they still have Michael Flynn under in the system, he can then say, I want discovery. I now want to know how everything got to this point right here. Now, I don't know. I'm not a legal beagle. Maybe somebody's a legal person and can help me out. 844-551-8255. But I believe Mueller is saying to Flynn, we're going to let you off the hook because you've been wronged and you are entitled to understand how that occurred. How did they get information on me that, quite frankly, was innocent, in my conversations, and you use my language to trap me? But how did you have information about what I've done anyway? And I believe releasing those documents will be so damning to the left that they say, we better let this dude go, and we better let him go fast. Now, if Flynn's smart, he's going to say to the Clintons and everybody else, I ain't going nowhere unless unless they say in black talk, unless somebody give me some money. Because I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd be like, oh, no. You better call up the Clinton Foundation or call up Barack Obama and have them put some money on pallets in front of my house. They could be in Swiss francs and German Deutschmarks or euros. I don't really care. But I better have millions of dollars sitting in my backyard. I ain't going nowhere. 13 Russian indictments. These guys want to talk about the Olympics. They want to talk about the Parkland shooting and gun control when they should be talking about all these indictments.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.